Now, one of the aspects that people always ask about when they hear about Venice are the gondolas, and behind us, of course, you can see one of the gondolas making his way down one of the many canals of Venice. And so I wanted to give you a demonstration speech about how the gondolas work. As you notice, the gondolas almost all are a color, a darker color. They use mostly the colors of dark black or dark really green for the boat itself, and then a purple or blue to do the kind of the attractive side panels and those kinds of things. On every gondola that you'll see, there are 6 little representations of the 6 sections of the city of Venice. So in the front you'll count out, it almost looks like a jagged sickle, but it's really a representation of the 6 parts of the city. The city is divided up by canals so that when people are transported from one place to the other, they use the gondolas. Now, of course, lately there are a lot more boats in the city than just the gondolas. There are some little motor boats and boats that deliver all kinds of freight and groceries and food. The one coming behind us right now is more of a modern motorized boat. It's not the gondola. The gondola itself is powered by one man who has a large oar, one large oar in the back. And it's incredible to watch them as they turn the gondolas and as they move them down through the canals. The entire city is set in water, and so the water level changes from high tide to low tide. And in some places, because the streets set low, the water does beam out over the sidewalks and streets. And so one of the other reports we're going to make for you is that they all wear boots, plastic boots and plastic coverings, and we'll show you about that. The gondola itself with that oar has a large positioned wood in the background that he uses to position that oar and make it go forward, backwards, sideways, and it's quite a chore, really. It would take a sizable strength of a person with good broad shoulders to make that happen. Most of the gondolas are powered by the man that is in the back. All family. That's been passed down through the ages. It's just like in the United States where you have a taxi cab license. In Venice you have to have a gondola's license to be able to power one of those. And most of them wear a little hat with 2 little red ribbons on the back, and they usually have a striped shirt. Most of them are red stripe, red and white. Some of them are dark stripe. There's another boat coming down through here, so you can see that the boating is a big part of the life in Venice and all kinds of boats. It's interesting, I'm standing at an intersection of not automobiles but of boats, one coming from the west to the east and one going south to north. I'll give you kind of a shot of that. They didn't meet each other, but they do have a large mirror, just like they do in many places in the United States, so you can see if anybody's coming. The weather in Venice and in northern Italy is much like that we have in the United States, where it's cloudy and a little bit rainy, a little bit cool, not cold, but just a lot like our weather there in Ohio would be in November as I make this tape. The final thing is, I think that the gondola represents the past, the present, and the future of Venice. When we talk about Venice, you're talking about a whole different place of living. This city was founded in 451. And after that, it's changed hands several times. Austrians ran it, Napoleon ran it, and then their long history of having a republic. Venice actually was its own republic. And today it's part of Italy, of course, but an odd part of Italy. The life here is totally different than over on the mainland. And life is a little older here, a little bit more reserved, and very quiet. Most all of the traffic on the streets, of course, is just by foot. The traffic is out there in the canals. That gondola represents the past of Venice and the present day, where they keep the present day alive, and they're fighting to keep these levels in the canals the same, which would represent the historic future. Well, I hope you've liked this little presentation on the gondolas and on the city of Venice and the way to get around with boats. And be sure to keep looking for the next presentation when we're going to talk about the need for plastic boots. This is Dr. Dave Lucas coming to you from Venice. Enjoy.